Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe. We're playing The Frozen Gods in GURPS 4th edition. I am Luke, the GM. We've got the usual folks minus one: Emily, Kyle, Tara, Lee, and Colin. And previously, you've arrived back in the capital of Ettendon, having pretty much confirmed that the giants are fleeing the mountains from some horrific xenomorph-like creature that has emerged from the ice deep within the northern frozen mountainous wastes. A good 600 plus giants are making the way south. This could end disastrously. Micah, Emily, has managed to convince at least the first major dickhead not to straight up have his people be killed by giants, and has further suggested to the king and advisors that maybe the giants could be convinced to walk out to this little inhabited island at low tide, where the water will probably only go up to the waist or shoulders, and then, you know.
Knees and toes.
And then, problem solved. Giants all on one island. Etho didn't seem to like that idea, at least to anyone paying attention, but not many people were. But she definitely weren't liking that idea. Tooth grindy, fist clenchy. You found the shield, air quotes, what seems to be a slice off of a huge sphere. Features an ancient Keem script that describes these creatures and also a fable of Arate sealing away an evil threat. Arate being the common god of your Western religion and the religion of the Keemtani folks. The script also seemed to form a map of the region of Keem. It even had, cities recognisable and such. Just so happens that Katya were already planning a trip to Keem to see what a new house is going to be like when she gets married to this guy. And so, plan is generally to head over and see what you can figure out from this map that you've found, engraved on extremely fancy metal, seemingly sliced off a sphere with immaculate precision by means unknown to you nerds.
It was probably aliens.
It's probably aliens. Aliens added the hands. Archie got attacked. He has not gone into Salt Dock because the church are trying to have him assassinated. He met one such assassin and did the opposite, assassinated the assassin. And I think it's the next day.
Yep.
Let's jump right into a scene. The next day, Archie, you've arrived at the boat a little while ago and you've loaded all your things onto it that you're willing to not be carrying on your person at all times.
I mean, most of the things that are in a backpack. Like, you can go look at my inventory. You should. You should show my inventory off to the audience.
Let's go and show off Archie's inventory.
Mind
Perhaps we
you,
could
I
rephrase that as just looking at the boat to see what he'll be traveling on, because he has traveled there before on boat.
This is true.
Mhm. Yeah, this won't be his second trip.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Not much.
Albeit, I'm sure the first trip he was like 8, so.
We've done
Get
it.
this bastard out of here.
You've done it in reverse, kind of more recently.
Yes.
And
Like-
Oh no, go on. If you're gonna say something.
Oh, just what, like a year, a little over a year more recently?
Yeah, maybe a year and a half, I think.
Yeah. Whenever the start of the last game was.
So yeah, Micah, you would see Archie there, kind of just hanging out. It's pretty quiet around the dock what am I on about? It's crazy busy with people doing stuff. But they mostly focused on this boat and the boats docked nearby.
I'll walk up to him. What? Sorry, one moment.
Must be wet food time.
No.
Emily doesn't need a wet food yet.
So Micah will walk up to Archie. Oh, hey, you're coming with us again.
Of course, this seems important.
We didn't really speak much on the last journey. And I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Sorry, bad timing. Everybody calls me Archie.
Archie, right. In case the forgetfulness goes two ways, I'm Micah.
Pleasure to officially meet you, Micah.
Likewise. So, are you connected to Katya in some way, or?
Lady Katya and I have traveled together in the past, yes?
Luke, would Micah know that would there only be one journey that could really refer to?
Pretty much, yeah.
Koch has a reputation, but there's one big one.
Yeah.
So, did you know Eric?
Briefly?
Yes, he used to lead what is now the official Royal Mercenary Company that I am part of, as you see.
Congratulations. Yes?
Well, I'll see you when we're getting ready to leave.
Oh, fuck off. No, not you. No, 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 no. No,
What is happening?
No, I think Archie just, like, kind of looks up over your shoulder a little bit and is just like, oh, fuck off! No, 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 not you, not you. Yes, we shall
Got
travel
ya.
together.
Yeah. She could be an. Yep, no, it's she's probably an assassin. What do you reckon? Smarter than the last one. Maybe playing the long game.
Then we'll be careful around her.
Should try and pin down how religious she is.
Mike is gonna back away, looking weirdly at Archie, and then head off to the meeting, I guess, or whatever else she has to do.
Not loads. Archie, I'm guessing you're not attending the council meeting.
The council. Archie would like to be in a position to listen.
Good luck.
Yeah. Your best bet would be disguise, really, and look like one of Katya's servants or people who'd maybe travelled north with her and don't have to speak.
That might be tough. Because his winter in the mountains taught him a lot of survival skills, but he did not gain any more social skills.
He has been talking a lot, though.
Yeah, because he's been alone in the woods.
He's not alone.
No, you talk to.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's
Don't encourage him.
there's a traveling companion there for sure.
Anyways,
Micah will be riding back north into the city to this council meeting. Everyone's shuffling in. It'll be occurring in the evening. the day after last session. I'm losing track of where we are, but I'm pretty certain people are noting this on the calendar here.
Yeah.
Good.
Were the pre-gaming things that I sent you okay?
Yeah, I need to reread them though.
Yes, but maybe no.
That's the one.
Recruiting somebody for a mission and trying to reason with family.
Yes. The first one is absolutely fine. Do you have your reaction modifiers noted easy for me?
Yeah, it's on the bio page.
Navigating. Oh yeah, lovely. Lovely, very nice.
I mean, they don't all apply.
No, but enough do, for sure. I've got a PDF open. So, recruiting people. That doesn't really apply super well. Yeah, you can get it done. It kind of does if you really generify it. I suppose that's what you meant to do.
I'm gonna whisper to Etho what Gotcha's up to, because she obviously knows what's up.
Mm. Oh, in fact, yeah. These people are probably also, yeah. She could well be involved. Other etho types could be involved. Etho types. They're racist as hell. Holy shit, Ituni, that's the word I want. Being a bit less racist about it though. Yeah, let's
Wait,
get.
Toonie would be here?
Not here at the council meeting, but Katya would likely want to talk to some Atuni during today. I mean, we may as well mention what you're doing. I think it's hardly a secret.
Yeah, that's fair. So Katya did some last minute recruiting of some translators and is sending them north with some of her people to catch up with the giants and hopefully keep them out of trouble, and then ideally guide them over towards Pitford.
Essentially,
most
I see
of
it
our
as
people speak giant. That's like the language we speak most other than our own native one.
because I believe at the end of last session, didn't you rush to send some people off to warn
To tell
everyone?
them to be wary of the monsters that were living in the mountains that we live in? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Katya, you'd maybe discuss this with Etho first thing, like what we're doing today. And then Etho would tell you what she's done. And maybe you just send some of your people as fast as they can to try and catch up.
I mean, Katya would definitely share what she's up to with Etho, but I suspect that Etho still does some spy stuff behind Katya's back.
She doesn't have much of anything behind her back. She's such a bad actor.
That's a fair point, actually.
It's usually obvious what Etho's doing. But yeah, evening rolls around. Everyone arrives. Probably takes ages to get Adelard in. I imagine he's got some form of wheelchair. And gets pushed in by servants. Adelard.
Has a room that's very close.
So everyone's here, really. This is quite the gathering. If you wanted to assassinate just about everyone in a major position of power in this kingdom.
Win for the princess.
Yeah, oh yeah, Princess Matilda would be laughing. Princess Matilda rubbing her hands together. Nah, the time frame's too short. She's not going to upland. But they've all been gathered, generally to discuss the ongoing giant situation. And now, given your new information, there's various things that could be said. Present is the king. The king's main advisor, Kale, previously met. We have the princes, Sigitas and Cedric. The king's uncle, Adelard, who is ancient. That king's already, we've mentioned, looks like he's going to die soon. Adelard looks like he has died, and some kind of weekend at Bernie's situation's been going on for the past couple of years. his son John is here, who is regent in his
Yeah.
stead, really. While Adelard is, he barely makes any noises, and the ones he does are pretty incomprehensible to everyone except for John. On the other
Who
side,
knows if John even understands? He might just make it up.
he could well make it up. People say that he does. On the other side of the table, we've got the two Theobalds. Is one of them not an Etenquel?
No, both are. It's the other guy who was sitting next to John.
James, right, yeah. So the two Theobald Etenquels, one of the Iceway, one of Cust. So the Iceway is in the far northwest of the kingdom. Watery islands, very Viking type folk. In that, they like boats and fish. You
So they're not at all closely related.
No, not really. They're like cartoon Vikings. There you go.
I mean, the two Theobalds are like third cousins once removed.
Right. And Kust is to the southwest. We've got Katya and her dad here. Jacobus has made the journey. He is, I'm sure he's already had a chance to rail at you a bunch, Katya.
It was a very loving fight.
Question. Was Etho invited because she's a translator and talked to the giants, or is she also kind of a representative of her people now that they kind of are known to exist again? Or both?
The former.
Or neither.
But you can argue for your people while you're here as a bonus.
Are you publicly behaving as though you are a representative? Like, are you acting
No,
as though you have a title?
Although I technically am what they would consider a princess, so...
You have a title, but you're not claiming it publicly.
Yeah. The main reason you'd be here is in case anyone wants to ask a question of the only person that really understood most of what the giants were saying.
Thank you for the clarification.
Back across the table, James and North March, not an Etenquel.
Bastard of an Etenquel.
A bastard. North March, I think, is maybe not a very nice place. Can't remember. I'd have to check the map, but I can't be bothered. And then finally, we've got Holly of Utamir. She is a representative of Queen Julia's Crusader Kingdom off to the east. King Julia is yet another cousin.
The daughter of Theobald of the Iceway.
Oh shit. So there you go. They are warrior type folks. She's off crusading. Kingdoming. Badass.
Free.
Well, says Kale, may as well jump right into it. We may as well jump right into it. There's some question of what we're going to do about the giants. We now have authority that a number around 600 may be heading south for the winter, at least. As you know, 600, what the fuck? Holy shit. Nonsense.
It's true.
My daughter's already said some things to this effect, but I'm still in favor of urging restraint. At least in terms of the kind of plans she's mentioned so far to me. Kale says, we further have it that the giants are leaving because of an even greater threat than they would pose to us. Some ancient monster of the gods. We've not established anyone as being particularly religious before, have we? None of these lordy types.
Not in particular. In my mind, Katya's dad is at least like attends the services, even if it's just for show.
I think,
I'd imagine Holly would be very, because
right, Crusaders.
lives in a Crusader kingdom.
Yeah. So, this is concerning, but we understand that this may be related to the heresies that have been spoken of. Related somewhat to this same party's expedition last year.
Trying to not look guilty.
Trying not to actually accuse you of anything. And kind of doing an okay job, but it don't come off as pointed as I made it just then.
Mm-hmm. It does seem as though the monsters are coming from the same area. It may be connected.
While we don't doubt that there might be monsters, we are curious as to whether they're from the gods, let's put it at that. Given the heretical thinking that has arisen in some of the townships in the area. There we go, that's a much better way of putting what she's trying to get at.
Regardless of what they are, though, they are a threat.
More pressing threat than the giants? I'll ask someone, anyone, doesn't really matter. Kust guy.
From what I saw, they're a more pressing threat than a plague.
The giants don't want a war anyways. They just want a place to live.
I would trust what Mike has to say. I've known her well since she was a child. She's not one
Thank
to
you.
speak falsely.
Was he gonna prompt? Was he gonna prompt you to say something specific there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm working to it. Brain gears turning slowly. You were there. You were there as you treated with the giants, and you've seen these creatures.
Yes.
Then it's undeniable that they're real, he'll say to everybody. And you pretty much will be prompted to recount. I'm not going to make you all go over everything. Is anyone in particular trying to recount in a particular way? This would be the time to make any kind of public speaking roles you wanted to as well.
I mean, Katya is definitely going to try to make a sympathetic pitch for the giants.
And I think Peon will talk about what he saw, but in the context of making the threat. We need to come up with a cute name for those, but making them out to be as dangerous as possible.
The Sakin. I don't think I ever said it. Maybe I'd not actually.
No, you did, but we need a
a cute
shorthand name.
Graboids?
Mr. Bites.
I believe
That
Graboids
name
is
is a
taken.
short name.
Sakis?
Sax.
Nibblers.
It's 2 syllables.
Too many. 2 syllables,
That's
too many.
X.
Nibblers!
It's the long vowel in there that makes it awkward.
Nibblers. Nibblers. I still vote graboids. Well, regardless of what you want to call them, Pian, we can take it they're real. And if they're as great a threat as you say, then it seems this artifact you found may also be key to understanding them. And
It really does appear that way, yes.
you peppered Gearspiel about my daughter is betrothed to a rather established knight in the east. She was already planning a journey to Keem to view his new land holdings, make sight of her home, and judge whether he truly is a worthy matching for her. I propose that this journey be commandeered, so as to make that only a minor part of it, and the rest to investigate this map that's been found. And several copies would have been made, enlargements, analogues, comparisons by Kale and his scribes already. They're laid out in the middle of the table. As well as this kind of does look a bit like it could be a map of the area, although quite wrong. So no, it doesn't. But there's all sorts of papers knocking about. There's lots of circular things that could be reproductions of the shield for sure. That's a candle. But yeah, where were we? So this journey, yes, we will need all the information we can get, and I believe we have a vessel prepped and ready to go tonight if need be. At the very latest, tomorrow. People are generally nodding their approval. Adelard makes some noises. He's like, and John will say, well, it seems that matter's all well at hand, and we won't have results for some months if it involves a journey to the east. We'll believe these creatures when we see them with our own eyes. My father, as you well know, your grace, travelled the north extensively 50 years ago, or more, and they never came across anything of the sort. Perhaps it was some kind of poison the giants gave you?
We encountered them before encountering the giants.
Well, you have detailed notes here. Perhaps maybe a better description of how to kill them. Although it does seem that pike will do the job, as well as crossbow and fire, certainly. So yes, the most pressing matter would seem to be the giants, don't we agree? It's John that's not going to be happy about your island idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I've heard you want to put them on my land holdings. A whole... He'll say a number.
My
600?
suggestion was made in order to keep them as far away from populated centers as possible. I am concerned that there will be tension between us and the giants, and I have been to that island before, and there are not many people on it. If we are not fighting them, and I believe fighting them would not go very well for us, we might win, but at what cost? And if this greater threat then comes to attack us, we'll have weakened ourselves before it. It's not worth it. So if they don't want to fight us, we need to make sure we don't just have simmering tensions with them, and putting them somewhere where they won't interact with us as much is the best we can do given those circumstances.
He doesn't look happy. He goes off on a whole thing. He's like, that's all well and good, but you say there are few people. They're still my subjects, your subjects, your grace. Last I checked, the giants don't barter in gold and therefore don't pay taxes. And he goes off on a whole thing and then ends with, at any rate, you certainly can't fit 600 of them on there. They'll strip the land bare in a week. No, in a fortnight. And then Prince Sigitas will interject, and he'll say, she's right about the fighting. Under no circumstances can our armies face 600 giants on any footing and at any advantage. It would be devastating. Sorry, I'm laughing at the chat. Catcher, you got anything to say?
Potentially. Add a character question first.
Yeah.
Do giants actually eat that much?
They eat a fair bit. Yeah. How much were it a day? Didn't we work it out, Colin?
Oh, if you're going with that giant template that I made, then yeah, I mean it was 3 meals per day at
Oh, right.
it was 3 times because of the increased consumption, so it was 3 times what.
But even without the increased consumption based on the size, I found something where it had been worked out or given by an authority.
Yes.
To be a fair bit. It's only 1 meal a day, but it's a big hefty meal. It was like a £30 meal, right?
Exactly. No, I think it was 30 or 60. It was some number divisible by 30. Yes.
It might have been £60.
What's the rough? Like, how many people's worth of food do they eat?
Like 10 people's worth of food per giant, at least. And they also kind of like eat anything and just what's tastiest. Like they will eat a full tree.
Right, but it'll take them a while. It's not like a single giant's gonna. They won't literally strip the entire island clean. Like, that's people being racist
He was
against
being
giants.
hyperbolic, yes.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, no, they'll certainly.
Right.
I mean, 600 in a fortnight, maybe. It's not a huge island. Not fully clean, you know, but you definitely wouldn't want them there for a long time. Your dad keeps giving you side eyes, like he's daring you to mention what you've already mentioned to him, and he will.
Oh
like,
yeah, she's totally planning on mentioning it.
Let's see.
I mean, that's kind of an exaggeration. Like, they aren't monsters; they're just very large people. Surely we could find somewhere that could accommodate them. I mean, perhaps someone could volunteer? She gives him a side eye.
Perhaps they can be put to work somehow, he says. Jacobus. I have considered that maybe there might be some room in my holdings. It is a large part forest, and the horse business is ever expanding and ever fruitful in taxes for the crown. And certainly I could use assistance in clearing some forest, and I would estimate the giants would make quick work of it. And perhaps we might have some room for them as well.
She mouths, "Thank you," very sincerely.
Etho was not involved in this plan at all, right?
Probably not the talking to Jacobus part, no.
No, that was there was a private sort of begging of father that occurred.
Also, this...
Any of this plan was discussed in front of her. No?
Etho,
Yes?
Etho's aware that Katya was planning on having the translator and her people take the giants to Pitford. So Etho's at least aware that Katya had in mind that the giants would be going towards her place.
Ether
Okay.
was there for a previous iteration of the discussion of that. When we first addressed the king.
I didn't realise that had already been discussed somewhat, but yeah, I think it had. I think I do recall that. But yeah, your dad hadn't really mentioned the putting them to work part to you either. It's kind of just something he's been thinking about
that's
since.
a surprise.
Yeah, so that is a surprise to you as well. Gotcha. And James does perk up at that. He's like, I could certainly make room for giants if they're willing to work. Let me just have a quick look at the map. North March. Yeah, it is a bit close to the mountains. It's like, how concerned does one need to be with these creatures at my proximity? I fear I may be on the front lines.
I think it's a matter of respect, but I'm also concerned we can't make them work. I think some of them will, but if you make them work, that's slavery.
Well, they'd be offered boarding and food, I suppose.
And pay?
Well, they have no
First time
concept
she
of
says anything.
currency. They don't trade in gold. They trade in children's skulls and the blood of infants.
Who said that?
That'd be John. John says that.
He gets the scariest death glare she can muster.
Let's see if he even looks at you. If he does, then he's like, what the fuck? Have you got intimidation?
I don't, but...
Just roll me will straight up, please. No, yeah, straight up. Because I'm getting
Do I have intimidation? Let me just double check.
Slight secret bonus.
Nope, she's a blithering idiot. Willie said?
Will.
50-50. Here we go.
Oh, success by 4. Yeah, that's decent. But, oh no, wait, that first roll was canonically a holy shit. He shuts the fuck up. Yeah. So yeah, to people who are watching my rolls and wondering what I'm actually doing, the one before Etho's will check was a reaction roll, just to see kind of how much attention he's paying to Etho and what he thought about her in the first place. Then the second roll, the one after Etho's will for intimidation, is his quick contest. Will. And yeah, it did not go
Anyway,
for
he
him.
shuts the hell up.
He shuts the hell up, swallows loudly, and there is an awkward silence for a second.
Katya will attempt to fill the silence. I'm sure they could be taught, or at the very least bartered with. They certainly understand the value of things.
Theobald says, can they be shown the light of God?
Iceway Theobald?
Iceway Theobald.
Katya actually looks over to Etho for that one. She has no idea.
Holly also looks over.
He's choosing her words very carefully. She sits and ponders for a minute and says, no.
They'll find no home in the Iceway, but we'll happily send them south to Pitford. Duke. James in North March is like, likewise, and especially if they want to go as far away as possible. I'll happily let them move on past North March. I'm sure I have subjects who'd be willing to barter with them on their way through if they need anything.
Thank you for the passage.
We wouldn't like to cause the giants any problems now, would we? John, just mutters Craven under his breath. Fucking Craven. Pussy. You bitch. Ass. Poo-poo. Face. And Adelard's just he's turning and, muttering something to Cedric, who's got no idea what he's saying. Yeah. Kale interjects. The Crown will not be hosting any giants in Salt Dock. We can state this much. Our architecture simply will not permit them within the city walls without significant damage to the city walls, or the residences within it. Likewise, if they are seeking shelter in any dwellings, there is likely to be issue. Do they sleep wild? Or will they want a roof over their heads?
I think they can build. Katya's totally guessing, but she thinks it's true.
They did say something about building the houses on the beach like the old-time giants did. Maybe they can build, but they just, ain't got much wood in the north. Come south and use all your trees. This generally, the arguments go on for a while. In the end, so Catch's public speaking is pretty convincing. Has anyone got a diplomacy that they'd like to roll?
Possibly see my reaction roll modifiers.
Exactly, and you've got a bonus to this as well because you've been putting the effort in and you've got smarts and good ideas that these people generally like, just except for John, because he's generally being a dick today. And
Bonus because she's offering ideas they're open to in the first place.
Mm-hmm. So, the king decrees it. John is just arguing and arguing. Everyone around the table ends up kind of after about 3 hours of arguing, honestly. That they really should, as many as possible, be put on that island. That's the best result for everyone at this table. Absolutely everyone. No one, not a single person at this table could argue with that.
I mean, Katya's trying to argue against that.
Yeah, Etho's gonna give her the please make them not be dumb men look.
I mean, that's what her public speaking was hopefully for. Although I'm happy to throw something else at you.
But I'm going to carry on. Jacobus will.
I'm sorry. What? Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you not hear us?
I can hear you.
That's weird. What? Were you going to throw another roll? Did you say though?
It sounded like you were asking for one.
No, I were about to say, but they carry on. They've got more to say. I would mostly just goad in Etho with my elaborate way of saying that. No one could object.
He doesn't want to die.
But your father speaks up and says he is willing to take giants in. And certainly we must all pitch in to take the load off of John's island steads, because certainly we can't have 600 giants all on one island. and generally it kind of ends up agreed.
I mean, they will just stay on. She will eventually say they will just stay on the beaches. That's their plan.
Well, they could stay on the beaches on the islands, people argue back. And it pretty much ends up agreed that Duke Jacobus of Pitford will attempt to take around 50 to 100
Of the
giant.
far salt?
Who's representing the far salts here, if anyone?
Jacobus.
Jacobus. Well, it's Pitford to the far salt, really, I suppose.
I suppose it's accurate, though. The title is of the Far Salt, not of Pitford. That's just the town.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense. Far salt is the region. Lol. So yeah. And to be fair, that's like probably where the giant's going to be trying to get to, at least most of them. So yeah, he'll take 50 to 100 plus any others that can't be stopped. After that, depending on how things go, your dad is sorry, Katya, but he's going to have to maybe send them on. If he can't keep them there, then he will tell the giants that they can get to even further away from the mountains by going back up and around. But Theobald of Cust agrees to, if the island fills up, if giants aren't willing to walk across the water, he'll take, the same amount as the Pitford guy. He didn't want to be shown up. It turns into kind of a bragging rights. Who's got to have the most giants building for him? Because they seem like by the end of the meeting, those two have just convinced themselves, your dad and Theobald of Cust, that they're going to have a bunch of giants building cities out of wood for him.
Build a giant statue of themselves.
Pretty much. They're going to each have a statue that they can see from across the Salt Bay. Or this, whatever you call this. A bit big for just a bay.
But it sounds like it's a long evening of arguing.
It's essentially what it boils down to. It's just a real long evening of arguing. There's a lot of talk, Pian, of sending giants east. I mean, logically they really could get further away from the mountains if they went southeast, towards East March. But I don't think my brother would be very happy with that, says the king.
I mean, Peon is not here to negotiate these kind of things, but maybe he can offer some sort of alternative that doesn't sound like he's saying that's a horrible idea. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try navigation land to try and come up with some sort of a barrier or something that could make it difficult for the giants.
Sure, yeah, I'll take that.
Nope. Surely they can't cross that river.
You know what? Someone might say, and then mention a river. They might have trouble. It is true that they may struggle with the Don. It's a wide crossing. There's some general talking, and Kale says, regardless, we'll send Pigeon. Or Owl. We'll send Owl. No, that's taken by a transphobe. We'll send
Pickety.
Roseate Spoonbill?
Send something.
Roseate Spoonbill. With message. That's the thing. I think that's a meme bird at the minute. And yeah, say that this is what's happening, and we suggest that maybe he takes some giants as well, and maybe he's not going to have a choice if they realise that they can get further south by going east. But I'm sure that letter will also point out redback shrikes.
They impale their food on branches?
Oh, it's those little Galapagos bastards.
No.
Oh.
I do believe we are firmly getting off of the track.
Yep, it sounds like the meeting was wrapping.
The meeting wraps, you leave. Your father will stop you on the way out, obviously.
Yep, she was looking to stop him as well.
This may be the last time we speak for a while.
She nods sadly, gives him a hug.
You must send letter by Shrike every day.
Of course. Of course.
I've seen
And
to it. I've seen to it that half the aviary is aboard the ship, as well as the staff to care for them. You'll be well equipped. Perhaps every day is a bit too much.
I'll remember to write, I promise.
Just let me know where you are and where you're going, so we can stay in touch.
Mm-hmm. And it won't be that long. I mean, you're gonna have to be at the wedding anyways, right?
Well, that will occur here, of course.
Mm-hmm. But can I walk you to your rooms?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll attempt to chat with her father about stuff, like the regular family stuff.
Yeah. Your mum's sick. I feel like your mum's chronically ill. That kind of deal where she's like in bed most of the day. Doctors coming and going, putting leeches on her, generally slashing her to bits, not really
Makes
helping
sense.
to heal her.
Makes it hard to travel.
Mm-hmm. Ever since your brother were born, probably. But she resents him for that. There's a whole family dynamic. There's a whole episode in there in season 1, like season 1, episode 3. But your brother's doing great. He's really taken to the bow, and he's an excellent rider.
That's fantastic.
And your brother's demanding that they be lancing lists at your wedding, because he's gonna unhorse everyone for you.
That sounds like a great idea to Katya, because she's just as reckless as he is.
And he also apparently plans on unhorsing your groom on the wedding day.
Good luck with that.
Likely because he'll not be allowed to ride, correct?
Who knows?
Not sure. Not sure if your husband would demand to ride or not. It'd entirely depend on his mood that day.
Yeah, it's kind of a machismo thing. Like, you might have to ride on your wedding.
Quisiéramos los más machismos? ¿Sois más machismos?
I mean, not Katya.
Well, you sneaking, Etho. You're pretty successful.
An empty vase to vomit in.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Aww.
Because you feel... Oh, no. Because you feel poorly. Oh, yeah, failure by 3. Yeah, you do feel very poorly. No one catches you doing it, though. Very sneaky.
It's probably priceless, too.
Everything here is the Kiss the Kings. Like even Catchy might not be able to save you getting your head cut off if someone had caught you doing that.
Yeah, but there's probably no guilt because it's the Kings.
Yeah, no, you don't care. You had to throw up. You managed to do it in a secret place.
So, out of character, it sounds like we're planning on departing tomorrow morning? Or at least tomorrow.
Finally meet up with Archie?
Yeah, so that was... Yeah, we should mention that. The plan is to depart immediately now. You will depart... immediately. And tomorrow morning is like
28th?
they say, make your way to the boat, get going. You said you could go this evening. Get at it, says Kale.
He said he invented that.
He invented that. Kale said you get at it. I believe it. Well, that's what he says. Get at it. And the king says, quite. I hope, if you have any business left to attend to, I hope they operate in the evening. Make haste. Keep us informed. Was the last thing before he had spoke to your father just then, catch you?
Mhm.
A little bit out of sync there.
And Katya spends her evening catching up with her father. Etho is probably free to scamper off if she doesn't want to spend the evening doing mushy stuff with the
Definitely not.
Fitfords.
She is actually going to peace out to Archie's location. Katya will be firmly protected in the small trip it'll be tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, no. She's leaving like ASAP to get there to Archie before anyone else does.
Okay.
You know what? Mask. She kicks you in the shins a little bit, Peon.
What are you asking if I know? In character.
Nothing. We
sorry.
go.
I should probably send a note to my master before we depart.
Leave in 20 minutes. Be at the exit. Or be at gate.
As you wish.
Wesley. You write your note?
Yeah, just sending a quick update on everything to my master.
Going
And
keen.
then-
We'll check
Yes.
the giants.
I mean, that's a big part of it, yes. You may have giants coming this way, so, if you could accidentally go on maneuvers in their way or something, it may be a good idea.
If you want to kill giants, anyway. Or if you want to get
Or
killed
just
by
block
giants.
their path.
Yeah. Meet up with Etho at the gate. Set off fast.
Seems to be.
Yep.
So, yeah, it seems like you probably would get there first. Arriving. And Archie, are you on the boat at this point, or are you still, like, at the dock areas, waiting for them lot to arrive?
I think Archie's probably laying low somewhere not on the boat.
Maybe like a tavern or an inn within eyesight of it.
Yeah, probably a tavern actually. I think Archie's having a drink.
Yeah, we've not had a tavern scene yet. So,
Which, to everybody who knows Archie, is actually probably a shocker.
Archie doesn't normally drink. But he's in the tavern at the dockside, which is where, quite a lot of the people who work on the boat actually are now as well, at this moment.
Good place to be.
A decent place to be, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
God damn it.
I think he's at the tavern after having gone on a little, like, shopping trip. He's, like, going around town getting some more appropriate clothes for Keem.
There's going to be a bunch of horses on this boat, right?
Probably.
A fair number,
Probably.
yeah. There is a stable deck, probably.
Like as many as you can fit. Oh yeah, the map I've got for this boat is going to be wildly inappropriate. There's probably several boats, to be fair. You know, I doubt it's just a single boat taking you all. Maybe there's an entire boat just for the horses.
Oh no, you could fit them all on lower deck.
Yeah, if there's like 3 or 4 decks on that thing, you could do it.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be really inefficient to bring our own horses?
They bring in to be sold, I think, in part,
Okay.
or traded.
Also, we haven't really discussed how large the group is, but if we're breeding actual soldiers, you generally want to be with the horse you've trained with.
Mm.
Whenever possible.
Yeah, it's probably going to be overall quite a large group. I've not actually thought about the very nitty gritty of it. Off the top of my head, I'd want to say, you know, at least 60 probably. Including all the folks who are showing up. Those 2 guys who went north are coming with you. Kind of forgot to mention them again. Carl, Willem, and obviously Aaron and Samira. Make a couple of GM checks quick. Samira is, you know, still not looking 100%, but it's going to be a long journey on this boat. There will be some stops. You're not going all the way to Keem immediately. But they're essentially just single day stops in a couple of islands along the path.
Sounds great.
One of them is relatively affluent.
Yeah, those guys head to the ship.
Aye.
Well, I would.
But yeah.
Etho's not getting on the ship.
No, yeah, you wanted to talk
He's
to Archie.
looking for Archie.
Let's have this scene and then a quick break. So, you'd check the tavern. Probably after, you know, you put your horses on the boat and see that Archie's not on it. Archie, you'd spot Etho and Pian enter.
Not like
Looking
we
around.
stick out or anything.
Well, I imagine Archie's watching everyone who enters and exits.
Yeah. Yeah. Archie will lean over to the bar and hold up, 2 fingers and 2 more of these.
As she sits down, she's gonna shake her head and go, "Do you have ginger?"
Ginger? What do you need ginger for?
Barman frowns at you. We got ginger. Wait, you just want a root to chew?
What? Yes, and tea.
Oh, give me some coppers.
She'll plop down irrelevant. How? 2 copper, you said?
He just said some coppers. 3.
Okay.
2 for the root, 1 for the tea.
Ian will smell the drink when it gets in front of him, but I don't think he's too into it, so he'll slide it over in front of Archie.
I hate
Archie'll
you
start
bastard.
drinking.
The voice in your head. It's kind of like slurring his speech a little bit. You dumb fucker.
Oh, shut up. Archie pours it back.
No, you shut up! I don't feel good. You shut up.
I'm not talking to you, you idiot.
Yeah, I know. So, ride wasn't so good. Still a little squeamish on horses. Uh-huh. Well, how'd the meeting go?
We're officially going on our journey.
Hajo complain.
Yeah, well, that's what royals do. Watch men die and complain about it.
That's pretty.
They wanted to bring
That's pretty cool thing.
Erate's word to Giant.
Pretty cool thing you just said. Yeah. More. Buy another drink. Why not? Fuck it. Buy another drink.
Yes, we will keep drinking until you shut up. And then order another drink.
She's gonna look really mad at you. I thought we were friends, and then she's gonna like put down.
We are friends. Don't. Ah. Look. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
He's not
just
talking to me. No, wait.
Just.
He's not talking to you.
No, I'm talking to her.
He's talking to her.
Yes, I'm talking to her, and Etho, I apologize.
Door just opened.
Look over at the door.
It did actually just open this time. He weren't pranking you. A couple of people you don't recognize are walking in. Big, heavy, but fairly new-looking cloaks, and armor, swords, soldiery types, but not soldiers. More like hired mercenary types.
Are you allowed to carry openly here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Peon has not been carrying his glaive around.
If you look fancy enough, anyway. And if someone fancier spots you and can argue it, then you might be in trouble if they don't like looks of you. I actually don't need a quick break anymore. I didn't at all. I've still got lots of liquid. I was distracted.
Archie,
Emily,
have you gotten the Forest Madness?
I seen it once before in Rats. I seen it now again in Men.
Well,
Forest Madness a thing?
She's talking to you. She's not talking to me. I think she's talking to you. You were talking to her, not to me. No, you were talking to me. But she doesn't know that, so she's talking to you, dude. You got Forest Madness?
I don't think he's here. I don't think they're here.
are you speaking?
Oh, yes, I was. My mic was down but muted for some reason. No, I think so like Archie like looked over at Etho when she said the Forest Madness thing, and he just like thumps his head a couple of times to quiet the guy down a little bit, and it's just like ever since the mountaintop, and he kind of like trails off and refocuses on the two guys that walked in.
So, Micah, do you think you also set off relatively quickly?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
He wants to speak with Kale.
Roidio. My bad. Yeah, let's have a look at that quick. Because also speaking.
Weren't they in the middle of a conversation?
Yeah, we kind of were.
Okay, no, my bad. Carry on. Continue your conversation. I'm sorry. You were looking at the guys who came in, though.
Yeah, I think Archie rediverts his attention there.
Etho will do the same. because she knows what's up when that kind of thing happens.
If Pion notices this, then he will also sort of follow their gaze.
All three of you kind of turn around to look at him.
Not like she'll try to be incognito, but she's not very good at this. So let's see. This is a straight up. Oh, failure even straight up.
Just like, who are you looking at kind of deal.
Yep.
And yeah, two well-armed mercenaries in heavy cloaks coming in out of, I want to say it's raining, but we could know for sure. Where do I find the weather? Is it in the
In
almanac?
the almanac. Yep.
27th of.
It's not. It's single digits. Probably not precipitation.
No precipitation. It's
Just
chilly.
very cold.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, well,
Celsius, Terra.
Still cold.
still cold, yeah.
Single digits is still cold.
They'll walk in and they'll throw the cloaks off in here though. It's nice and warm in here, and there's thick smoky air from pipes and the fireplace, and it's generally a noisy atmosphere because they're all the ship folk drinking and hollering and playing their old timey instruments. There's a few dancers doing the round in a corner, dancing, that kind of deal. They're all right. They dance good. And the musicians aren't terrible. The voice in your head has disagreed throughout, though, Archie.
Okay.
And yeah, they kind of glance around the room. Their eyes do settle on you briefly, but no longer than they settle on everyone else's. As they sit down at the table, it's just two fighting men-looking types. They've got neatly trimmed beards and hair, though, you see, when they throw the hoods back. Both
Well,
quite clearly Eton folk.
I think Archie prepares himself for something to go down, but isn't gonna do anything other than that. So Pion, you coming across the sea too?
Yes, I think I need to see this through for my king.
Your king, okay.
Alfred.
Your dad, Archie.
Yeah. That guy. Archie, that comes out in character.
Pion actually looks pretty unfazed.
But
I think this is an issue that will affect all of our kingdoms.
I would agree with you on that. But you've not seen what we see. Slightly drunk eyes glaring at you.
I know there's a lot out there.
Is he talking to me or to you? I'm not talking to you.
What? No.
Wait, he can't hear me. Never mind.
We've seen a god.
I killed one.
You did.
Keep telling yourself that.
I will. I will keep telling myself that.
You killed a weakling. You can't begin to imagine the power of a god.
Arch, I think your forest madness with the beer make you enough. Come on. Just go under the armpit and try to lift him up. Not lift him, not bodyguard style, but the buddy helping a drunk buddy out of the bar.
You're just like, gentle suggestion. Are we walking this way now?
Peon will help too, but in a way where he can make sure that his right hand is free.
For slapping barmaids on the bottom as you go past.
He just wasn't quite sure what Archie was worried about with when those guys came in, but it's probably better to, be able to have access to my knife.
Mm-hmm. You're taking him straight to the boat.
Oh no, I'm not sleeping on that thing. We're getting a room.
Okay. Archie's probably already got one because he expected that you'd be leaving in the morning. And I'm pretty sure you still are going to be leaving in the morning because it's only like, 8 extra hours. And what is the king gonna find out and do about it? So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you take Archie up to his room. He's like, I got a room. We got a room. You would manage to get a closer look at those guys as you go past them. Just give me straight vision checks, please. Except for Archie's.
Vision?
Who's that? Yeah, vision. This is to see something.
That was straight up, so whatever you wanna. Yeah.
Archie don't quite make it out on those guys. But Pian, you definitely spot it. They're both wearing church religious symbols around the necks. The ring of Arate with the star in the middle. So yeah, they are church guys.
Okay, noted.
But Archie, you don't spot that. You just get led upstairs, and you do fall asleep quite easy. And
I think Archie already suspects them for being church guys.
Yeah, figured as much. Oh, yeah, no, though. Also, as you, just, like, it's got, one of those raised balcony bits in front of the couple of rooms that are upstairs. And you're looking down, and the door opens again at one last minute, and you see Holly of Utamir is also walking in right now. And she turns immediately to those two guys who kind of stand up to sort of, at attention for her, and then follow her out straight away.
Sorry, who is this?
Her at the council meeting with you.
Yeah, which one? Was she, what was her, like, basic deal? Was she being a bitch, or was she being quiet? Was she being selfish?
She wanted to know, she were religious, and she's the one who hinted at
He asked if they could be brought to the light of God or something.
Yeah, her dad asked that, and she was like, yes, that's an important question.
Okay, thank you. There was a lot of people at that meeting.
They really were. But yeah, she was the only really one who brought the church's role into it much. And she does consider herself a zealot, at least. Wait, what am I on? Is that... She considers herself highly pious.
A woman of God.
There we go. Zealot, I think, is what other people would call her.
That was all I
Etho,
just wanted to get the hell out of the capital.
Yeah, do you just bed down in Archie's room?
I mean, I'm gonna dump him on the area next to the bed, and she's gonna take the bed. Because, drunk friend.
Rude. Pian, do you even feel tired?
Yeah, I mean, Peon, he doesn't know these people very well. So I think once he makes sure that they're comfortable and Archie's not going to aspirate on his vomit and choke to death in the middle of the night, he'll slip out and take care of his business in the city before departure in the morning.
Right. Yeah. Well, you're on the very outskirts of the city right now. But oh yeah, no, there's still opportunities for you to take care of your business. Give me a stealth check, please.
One thing I will do before Peon leaves, well, they're making that roll. She's gonna put something noisy on the door handle.
Okay.
Like, so if it opens, like a cup or something falls to the ground.
Nice crit. Now give me your favourite perception for this sort of deal. General hunting. I think there's actually. Where is it?
So Etho wakes up in the morning and he couldn't possibly have gotten out.
So yeah, it'll typically take you an hour to do this. You use your best game finding skill, tracking, survival, or naturalist, actually. But it's a bit different for this. I'll just give you anything really. Then you close on your game. Stealth roll to approach. And you critted that. And then yeah, just give me your best combat check to catch this little rabbit.
What am I gonna do? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do is. Why didn't it roll that?
Waiting for a
I
modifier.
must not have.
Roll
I
20
must not have
like.
linked it. How about that? Oh God.
Heyo.
Nice. So yeah, you do the Batman Arkham Asylum deal.
Exactly. Suspended upside down from a random gargoyle.
Uh-huh. That's a great way of doing it, especially when you've got a long journey ahead of you and you might need to keep some of the rabbit's life essence. For no reason.
That was all I had, by the way.
All you had. That's all.
Yep.
That's all she wrote. Oh, she's asleep. I think the voice is there in your dreams, but like given form. Sometimes you can choose whatever form he wants, but you're not even going to remember these dreams anyway. Give me an IQ check, please, Archie. -4.
That fails by 1.
Fails by 1. No, yeah, it's not as bad as the dreams usually are. Not that you ever remember them. Could be worse, but generally, you know, the uncomfortable, stressful dreams. Micah, you're seen with Kale from the night before.
We'll
So
approach him after the meeting just to discuss advance payment
okay,
to fund the journey.
Holly beats you to him, and she's like saying that she would volunteer to join this journey on behalf of the king. She's sure he's planning on sending apt warriors and, you know, people to keep tabs on these fools. And in addition, she would like to volunteer along with several of her best. And Kale is like, yes, that seems like a grand idea.
Wait, he doesn't object because of the fact that she's the emissary of another kingdom?
Actually, no, yeah, that would be an objectionable fact. Yeah, in fact, he would object. He'd say, well, on behalf of our king, that's... Your input would be welcome into the venture, I'm sure, but you would have to speak with this journey's primary financiers.
Also, the fact that she goes, her queen doesn't have representation.
That's true.
That was more the issue I saw.
Yeah, no. But certainly if you have men to spare, the crown will happily take those. Yeah, no, you're right. I would being dumb. She wouldn't offer to go in the first place, but she would send her dudes. So yeah, you spot that. And then Kale's like, Micah?
And Kale, regarding this upcoming expedition, I will require funds to sustain myself during it. Would I be able to get not only the last few days of this month, but all of the next month paid in advance? The journey is quite a long one.
I don't believe it will be a problem, no. The journey is a long one indeed. I wonder if perhaps that won't be enough. Go to the
Several
bursar.
months to consider. Oh, sorry.
Take 2 months in advance. And then, of course, we'll consider expenses upon your return.
Thank you.
He will scribble a quick writ and say, yes, take it to the bursar.
That's all.
I don't carry that kind of gold on me. Have you got detect lies? Oh wow, you have. He's lying. You think he has got that amount of gold on him?
Makes sense.
Alrighty.
Has Etho been looking visibly ill?
Oh yeah. Um. One of the Fredbits is
She's
still ill as
fine
well.
when she's fine when she's sitting still, but anytime she's like moving or on a horse or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
she looks awful.
It has entirely been during journeys, yeah.
No, even like moving around, like walking or things.
So she's kind of like she's hungover permanently, honestly. So yeah, no, she's not been doing great. General IQ check from Katya though, because I see what you're hinting at.
I mean, what I was mostly getting at was, should I be concerned about my friends dying on me again?
You at least. It's not. It doesn't seem like she's gonna die by any means, but it is persistent now. You're pretty sure it started before your encounter with those things in the north. But it is also remarkably similar to how your mum's pooliness generally started. As far as you can remember, you were a child.
Fair enough.
So yeah, your father had generally keep you as long as he can stand to before urging you on, seeing as you've been ordered to set off immediately, air quotes.
So I imagine Katya takes off like 2 hours late then?
2 hours late, probably, yeah. And he'll, like, press a bunch of gold into your hand as you're leaving and say, leave in the morning. Get a good night's sleep in the best inn. Right at the dockside.
Of course. It's not that far of a trip.
Very good. They say the journey might take 60 days.
I don't know. The captain... Well, I don't think it's the captain, but he says he can do it faster.
Yes, I was speaking to that merchant Aaron. He's quite confident that his boat can do it in 30. But you'll have to let me know about that.
Yeah, that's probably bragging, but I bet you we'll be there in 45.
I was just deciding on something. A wager?
Of course.
You have
The
to.
usual amount,
Very well.
which off-screen might be 1 gold, might be 100,000 gold. It doesn't really matter. It's not that much. That's way too much.
It doesn't have to be the currency either. It can be a item
That's
of
fair.
equivalent
It'd
value.
be like a horse. I like that, actually. I imagine they both have their like personal stable thing.
And then he'll see you're on your way as you ride off for the docks areas.
It is a heartfelt, sad parting. But then she hurries up because she's late. And I imagine her entourage is also very frazzled.
Oh yeah. Like I was gonna say, yeah, one of the Berts, he didn't die in last session, did he? Or he didn't miraculously recover either? I don't think so.
The Bert that was sick got taken away.
Got taken away as well. Right.
But I think we made up a name for that one. That wasn't one of the previously named ones.
Yeah, like Gosbert or Josbert or Disbert, Dampert, Dampbert, Johnbert, some kind of Bert. Anyway, he got taken away. Yeah, I don't think word will come back about him. You don't really care much right now. I think it is a good time for a quick break now. No objections?
Works for me.
Alright, we'll be right back. We're back. The council has agreed that, alright, fine, we'll take in some giants, but we still gotta stick as many as we can on that island, because that is just a killer plan, and we really don't care what Etho thinks. It's what it comes down to, I'm afraid, Etho.
It's gonna end up badly.
I'm sure it is.
It'd be worse than putting them next to the villages of the people who genocided them to conquer the land.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot worse. You'll see.
Sorry, that's intersectionality. Someone roll intersectionality. When you're a giant.
I don't have any joke skills this time around.
And so the boat, maybe not perfectly represented by this, but it is big. It can take 280 tons. That probably equates to a good dozen horses at least, I'm sure. Maybe more. Maybe 2 dozen horses. 24 horses below deck.
Quite a lot more.
4. Have you done some fancy calculating already in the group assets?
Yes, but not on the same ship. Just when you're measuring hundreds of tons, that's a lot of horses.
You used the Spanish galleon, didn't you? That's got a load of 620.
Yeah, that's one of the larger ones, though. Like, don't necessarily use that.
No. How many horses are you taking on this?
A lot.
But we can address this between sessions, right?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check to like get a ballpark, but it may well go down.
I mean, the scale that you said would accommodate what I had in mind.
Okay.
Like that is roughly in the right ballpark.
Okay, so if you halve the load of what you've got at the minute, then you still got space for it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, 'cause no guns. Boat, no got guns. Firearm technology is still fairly limited. Artillery, cannon artillery does exist. And I'm sure it has been put on boats, but they're more like mortar ships. Certainly not Asia sail cannons that you seeing things.
Makes sense.
They probably do have a few muskets aboard, though. Hand guns, sort of, almost like cannons, but you know, generally fired by a guy weird on a stick. Still a fair few crossbows for the most part, I think, in terms of ranged weaponry that people you see aboard have got. There's got to be a good dozen actual soldier types, including the two fellas who went north with you, Carl and Willem, Samira, and those two guys who you saw in the inn. They do indeed come aboard. Katya, should have probably had a conversation with you about that. But clearly she came to town, and she would have met with you in the morning, I think, as the ship were leaving.
Wait, don't jump to after we've left.
I'm not, sorry, yeah, no. What am I thinking? Crazy brain. So,
But yes, if she had met with Katya and basically asked for a ride, then yeah, Katya would be okay with that.
but Katya, you head to the boat area. Do you stay in a fancy inn, indeed, at the dockside?
Of course.
Cool. Micah, you'll go see the bursar and get your 2 months' wages?
Yeah, in the morning, yeah.
In the morning, so you spend the night at the castle and you plan on riding to the dock in the morning?
Yeah.
Just because...
He has to visit a store as well before leaving.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you'd have probably had a discussion with Katya as she were leaving or some such, run into her past the bursars, and she'd say, by the way, we're not going till tomorrow. And I'm sure they wouldn't leave
kind of
without you
confused
anyway.
about the whole leaving tomorrow thing, because it was just kind of
It was just because
agreed out of whole cloth.
at the end of the meeting, I said that Kale told you all you should get off to it immediately. But also the whole cloth thing, I figured you could have done that in the day before as well. And you could well have been moving that to the ship when you ran into Archie earlier.
No, out of whole cloth is a saying.
Oh, right, fair enough.
And she didn't have the money before now.
Gotcha. Also makes sense. So yeah. You wait till morning. You go and do your shopping. Just checking something. Do you try
She
and
would have
haggle it
mentioned
all?
that she was going to head to a tailor's to get cloth to Katya when she last saw her, because I feel like that might actually interest her.
Oh, that's a great idea. What are you having made?
I'm going to make myself some slightly more comfortable armor for the south.
That's very handy of you. Can I make any suggestions? And Katya will offer some suggestions of places to check to shop at.
Thank you. I've been to the Weavers and all those in Whisker, but haven't done much here yet.
Well, they're pretty friendly people. We probably have time for a quick stop. I mean, they're not going to leave without me.
All right, I'll meet you with this one at this time after daybreak.
Sounds great. I'll be there. And Katya is there, but a little late.
Okay.
They'll walk inside, I guess.
Good morning. Early. How can I help you? Did you look at your cloak. I'm sure you're wearing your uniform. I say, oh,
Yeah.
royal business? And is Katya
Possible.
attending as well then? Did you say Katya would come into this?
Yes, she's there, but she runs a little bit late, so I imagine you were like waiting a little bit outside.
So, royal
So
business?
Katya will come in as well.
Personal business.
Oh. And then as Katya walks in, oh, and you say this is a place you've visited before, Katya?
Yep.
Yep.
Definitely.
Milady, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Have you two met yet? This is a friend of mine.
Oh, you're together. Excellent. Well,
We were hoping to maybe get some cloth for a journey. She's a bit of a tailor, or seamstress.
you don't say. It seems we're involved in similar trades. Of what sort are you planning to purchase? And he'll start, showing off all sorts of cloths and fabrics he's got, dyed, undyed.
I'd like a large amount of this grade of cloth, undyed, but I'd also like a little bit of this color, and she'll indicate a green, and this color, and she'll indicate a beige, and this color, and she'll indicate another beige, and they're the colors you can see in the image there.
Very nice. Very good.
I think that'll go very well together.
Yeah, we your two's as reactions combined, you're gonna get very good. He'll take 80% of the fair price.
Oh, there might be another +1, because Mike is already wearing tailored armor, maybe?
Oh, I need to double check.
Like, she's already wearing something that she customized in a very similar way.
Double check the threshold for good to very good. No, wait, from very good to better or excellent.
Oh, damn it, I went to go find the book too, and it doesn't have the numbers.
No, you're only in very good, I'm afraid. So 80% of the fair
Okay.
price.
The numbers are on page 74 of that book.
I flipped to the GM's screen to spot it. But they do also give you some information, so they realise that you know what you're talking about, sort of get asking what you're planning on doing, and then offer some suggestions. And I will say, you get +2 to your whatever roll it is.
Crafting roll.
Crafting check.
Wow, cool.
So that's a good plus a very good reaction. Because technically you did get a good reaction and Katya got a very good reaction.
Thank you for the advice.
Of course. Throw in a bunch of thread as well.
Actually, she'll also pick up a fancy kit.
Okay.
Katya will get an expensive hat.
Can't not buy something.
Exactly.
Yeah. FOMO. FOMO extreme, I'm getting it too. Looking for something for myself. Need a belt. Just get a belt. And then it ends up costing like all my money.
It's a problem.
Belt's so expensive.
But yeah, that was all I needed to do.
Cool. Well, I feel like dawn comes around. People who are already at the dock are like waking up. You get a chance to eat breakfast.
People that know Katya probably already know that she's going to be late.
This is fair, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Hurt. Pain. You're a fucking idiot. Roll HT, please, Archie. Success by 3. You don't feel amazing.
Huh.
Etho, you could be worse. Best you've felt waking up in like weeks. Is what it feels like, at least.
You dead down there, Arch?
Oh yeah, you're on the floor, Archie.
Oh.
You're on the floor, Archie.
No, I'm fine.
No, you're on the floor.
Nothing happened with those church guys last night.
Church guys.
Guess not.
Quay.
We need to get to ship, she says with the most oh gods, this is gonna be terrible look on her face ever.
There's the smell of bacon and eggs and sausage and hash browns and McDonald's pancakes wafting up the stairs.
Yeah, go get some breakfast and head to the ship.
There's a lot of work going on at the ship. Words reached everyone that you're going to be setting off at any moment. Very final checks are all happening.
Etho's staying on the boardwalk
Pier.
or whatever that's called. Pier, thank you. For as long as physically possible.
The rigging and sails and they're all full of people. You know, they cover the whole thing. They like get vertigo looking up at it. Unless, you know, actually none of you do, given most of you are very climby people. Some of you went up a vertical mountain. Vertical Limit. What a movie. Rip in peace, Bill. And there's the boat. It's good. It's got slightly eastern vibes. Wow, racist. It is a bagler. Actually, this boat map might be perfect now that I'm looking at it. Wait, no, I see.
Bagla, I'm just getting a football player.
BaghlaH.
Okay. I spelled it differently when I googled it.
Yeah. I am almost definitely pronouncing it wrong. I know it from Puzzle Pirates originally. And then I saw it in Pyramid 120 and I was like, perfect.
That
And,
looks like a caramel.
and I know it's right because the Puzzle Pirates one had a bunch of like Persian rugs aboard it. So it must be Eastern Asian. You're flying, Etho.
It's the only place where you can look straight ahead and see what the direction you're moving.
This boat goes sideways, backways, loop-de-loop. Could do aileron rolls.
Different game.
Aileron Hubbard rules.
But
Nice.
when Katya finally rolls up to the dock, Ethan's gonna give her a side and go, late again.
Thanks for waiting, though. I appreciate it.
horses I can fit on here. I imagine they
Once
like.
back of ship, you can fit so many horses in this thing.
Oh yeah, like I imagine they've got them sort of lined up each side of that bottom.
Yeah, crammed in. I'm sure they get brought out every day though to walk around on deck one at a time, maybe
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 at a time. Yeah, repeat. Your main cargo is horses and people, and the food for those. So aye. Are you
As
actually
we're
in the
getting on the
crow's
boat,
nest,
I will.
Archie?
Oh, probably not.
Go on,
I think
Ethos. Go on, Archie. Sorry.
probably not, but I think Archie is like on the ship now and keeping his eye out for the church folks around.
Oh, I just accidentally closed my tab
Pasha.
with the stats.
Arch does have Woods Madness.
What's madness?
What?
When you alone in woods too long, you go madness or get madness, and you are
Danger to
see
self.
things.
Is that why he stopped showering or stopped bathing?
No,
Probably.
Archie still bathes, just not shaving anymore.
Actually, yeah,
Fair. Retcon. Is that why he stopped shaving?
he might bathe more. Is that why he bathes so much?
Frogs. He has wood madness. Talking like crazy man. Although all men talk crazy. More crazy man.
Should we be worried?
Hasn't tried to kill me yet. Told me to shut up multiple times.
That's not really like him. He's usually nicer.
That's why I kicked. He slept on the floor.
Ooh. No, sorry. I shouldn't make light. That is he going to be okay?
Shrug.
Thanks for telling me. Are you going to be okay?
Boat's going to kill me, she says, slowly walking up the plank.
Try to drink some tea.
Ginger, she's got saying, holding up like a bag, like big old bag.
Approving nod.
She's already looking green in the face as she walks up that plank.
Yeah. Wishing she can help, knowing she can't.
That's all I needed, Luke.
That's fine. Sorry, I've been using this opportunity to also look at these stats at the boats in a bit more depth, and then feeling really dumb when I had to look up what draft meant. It's not a
Here.
GURPS stat. It's a boat stat, a real boat stat. The depth it can take.
That's why the elven boats are so cool.
They got super low
You can
draft.
fit so many IPAs.
They're all about their craft beers. Yep.
Damn hipster elves. I'm wondering how many people you need to sail it. It's probably only like 6 or 7. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my problem with with most of the boats in there. They reference sort of just a number of people on board without distinguishing crew versus passengers.
Yeah, it seems like it can take. Does that mean it can take 15 passengers? Does that mean it takes 15 people to sail it? And then you have to consider the rest as cargo.
So the actual stats, if it's a single number, that's just the crew, and it doesn't include passengers at all.
Okay, so yeah,
But a lot of the boats are lazy and don't actually worry about that and aren't really clear.
Right. It seems like you'd need 15 people to sail it. That makes sense to me. Like, 2 shifts at 7, plus a captain.
Sounds reasonable to me.
That roughly matches what they had in the gay pirate show.
Which
I
one?
I think most of the crews are inflated because they're meant to be military ships.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we could take it out a bit. Either way, we've probably got 30 people on this boat, shall we say? 30 sounds good. I mean, you've probably accounted for it in your sheet already, haven't you? Catch you.
I mean, yeah, but making wild, massive guesses about the nature of our expedition, which we'll figure out between games.
Yeah, we should definitely look into it in more detail because I'm into that. I want to know. I want to know
Yeah.
the numbers.
We can plan a day to meet up.
But yes,
Logistics midweek game or mini game.
the boat definitely feels crowded. I think most boats of this sort probably did. Katya, you've definitely got the nicest room, but it's still going to be tiny. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure what's actually on here is divided up way more with planks and curtains and what have you.
Most people are in bunk beds that are 3 deep.
Hammocks, I'm sure. But you all will be able to be offered a separate cabin each. I presume Etho's going to be trying to sleep in Katya's bed.
Absolutely.
Katya, do you just allow this these days? It's just like a big hot water bottle.
Not when we're traveling this densely. It's propriety is still important.
Too risky. Can't be having the rumours spread too hard, especially not this close to a wedding.
I mean, definitely sharing the room.
Yeah, no, it's less probably end up like in the same bed, but at like sitting in a ready position to murder anyone. It will seem like she's being a very loyal bodyguard.
Okay. So you've got an extra bed or at least a hammock in there.
No, not a hammock, dear gods. She's probably on the floor sitting up sleeping.
I have never in my life been in a hammock. 33 years. Never touched a hammock.
It's a learned skill.
I'm an old dog. No new tricks for me. Pian, I imagine you're going to be retreating below deck pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't spend a lot of time on deck during the trip, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like you'll all get aboard and actually set sail. Probably starts with a bit of rowing, to be fair. Or at least pushing with big sticks. Have you got wind speed and direction on that? With
No.
good to know, because that could have caused problems for me. You'll make a nice getting to go of it. Set into sail.
Oh, so I assume we'll like have a little bit of just a few scenes that are just scattered about, not necessarily chronological, just scenes on the ship.
Pretty much.
But how long do you should I roll my crafting roll now?
You're... Yeah.
Okay. It takes. If she does 8 hours a day, it's 12. Or sorry. Where is it? Well, 13 days of 8 hours a day. Should I roll?
Probably
It's
not.
just one roll for the whole thing, though.
Yeah, on those things you usually meant to roll right at the end, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So you're not yet. But you will finish it before you arrive at the
Yep.
island, I'm pretty sure, even. The stopping point. Archie. Give me an
Yes.
observation. I'm sure this is what you're doing. You will see that those church guys from last night are indeed on the boat. You not got observation?
No.
Well, it gets pointed out to you.
Maybe it takes a couple of days before you notice.
It might take a couple of days before you notice. Obviously Aaron's on board, and Samira, Willem and Carl, I mentioned. Way to set Carl's token up, dumbass. They don't need the tokens on board at all times. They can be hiding, getting keel-hauled. Aaron will, what do you think of me boat? It's pretty amazing, right?
It's gorgeous. I love it.
The Barramundi.
It moves too much, she says.
You'll get your sea legs.
So how far have you taken it?
Oh, this will be its 7th journey. It's made 6 round trips already, a lucky number, in both our cultures.
Wow, that is fortunate.
Truly. A blessed journey, and the weather is excellent for it. What's the weather like on the first day?
Hurricanes.
I could check this myself. Are we on the right day there in weather? Is anyone else in here?
What
It
day are you
is-
wanting it to be? The day we set sail?
Yeah,
28th.
28th.
Set.
Ah. No, it's okay. I weren't actually in any box, I don't think. Salt dock probably is best bet.
Yep.
No precipitation. Yeah, I'm sure it's plenty clear. It's a nice sunny day. But it is cold, especially with the sea air whipping at you.
Very different ideas of cold and warm days in winter.
You northern nerds, what are you doing on that continent? You shouldn't be there. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Is
It
still
was a
same-
lovely, bright, sunny, warm day here, and our high and low are basically the same as for Salt Dock right now.
To be fair, it was a lot warmer today than it has been. A lot. I say a lot. Like 2 degrees C difference is a lot to me. God, British people, how did we do it? How did we do it? Used to be made of sterner stuff or something. I don't know.
It was chilly today at 11 degrees for us.
Okay. There we go. This problem exists everywhere. Local to its climate, unless you're one of those crazy people who live in like the ice places. I'm looking at Colin
Anyway,
and Emily.
off track.
Oh, very off topic. Yes, it will get much warmer, my friends. Don't worry on that. I am excited to return, honestly. I've spent too long here in this cold land. I'm excited to show you. I forgot the name of the city. got a map of Keem. You'll have a look at the map. Makid. We will stay in my palace there. At least for the first few days. While we make sense of the matter. I imagine you'll want to make the journey south to your fiancé's, Lady Katya.
Of course. Although, obviously, we have a bit of a less direct trip planned. Have you guys figured out where the sites are actually on the map? She looks over towards the people that were actually studying the map.
Haven't quite had the chance yet, but we have a long voyage ahead.
Where did I put this frickin'...
Well, I trust you'll figure it out.
Okay, in game notes, shield translation. I started
Oh, it has
writing.
stuff now.
It has some stuff. So the first two paragraphs you kinda already knew. But the word that is marking out Makid, the capital, it could mean either life or blood, vitality or strength. But the context of the passage, you kind of think, it's like vitality or strength because it's talking about Arate's great vitality or his great strength. It wouldn't really make sense for it to be talking about his great life or his great blood, you don't think? Kuaha. Aaron will be able to tell you that that's like so there are grasslands and plains surrounding there. It has quite a rainy season, and they do a lot of farming. Deer is a very dry place, he says, but there are oases in between. It is mostly flat. There are mountains to the south, but surrounded by desert. And there is this huge dry seabed. It's got a couple of islands in it. The ones in the south are oases. They've got trees and natural forming billabongs, but bigger. Ponds and, ponds that last most of the year. But Kahadira has been... That's the city that's been abandoned since, before proper records of Keem history began. Or at least that Aaron knows about, that general folk know about. A lot of history is kind of kept a bit secret. He's not really explained it before now. Archie, people who's got area knowledge, Keem?
I do.
Or theology, Keem?
Geography and theology.
Theology I'll take, geography I'll take. Okay, cool. Failure on the theology.
Geography, though.
Yeah,
And
the
I
geography.
make my area knowledge.
Yeah, so that's perfect for what I want to tell you. Which is that religion is kept like a closely guarded secret, and it is closely linked to magic in a powerful way. Archie, you have seen some things that, you really couldn't explain when you were a crusader. Except now you kinda can, and they've lost a lot of the power that they had against you.
Okay.
Micah, I don't think you've ever seen anything on the level that Archie had.
No, she hasn't been there. Her father told her lots.
Aha, there you go. Perfect, yeah. And Aaron will explain how generally, these cities have never got on with each other. Kawaha, Makid, and Dira, and they've each got slightly different interpretations of the word of God.
Like in that episode of VeggieTales.
More like in that episode of whatever that program was called with the Taliban versus the IRA.
Hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what?
Deadliest Warrior.
It's like a History Channel program where they pitted various
Oh yeah,
warriors
Deadliest Warrior.
throughout history.
Yes, yes.
One episode was Taliban versus IRA.
I was thinking about this, which I haven't seen in like 20 years. Posted.
And yeah, so where Buhaira is, that'd be part of Utamir. Claimed lands, which is where Katya's husband will be from, technically. Or
Ooh,
it's
technically.
it's where he's a knight of, I suppose. I mean, he's from Etenriche originally, you know.
I mean, my understanding is he's more than just a regular knight.
Oh yeah, he's a huge lord land. He's like one of the next in line to being in charge of this place after Queen Julia.
Like, she didn't snap at them in the meeting when they referred to him as just a knight, but she probably has snapped at people, like, in not the king's company about that.
No, I'm actually marrying a very, very rich man, and you haven't met him because he lives in Canada.
He's not a knight, he's a lord. Just from another country. That's all.
He's a landed lord.
Other side of the sea.
He's got way more land.
I promise he's real.
His land could beat up your land.
Just call him what he is. Donmir.
His land holdings are as big as all of Ettendon and more.
He's a black elf from the Elder Scroll.
No, just Donmir.
His name's Dongslayer 69. But Yersh. You're on the journey still. So yeah, that's kind of things that you get told. Oh yeah, the word for Kawaha. Your best guess would be birth. It's when it's talking about the life cycle of the aliens, or at least aliens. Lol. Talking about the life cycle of the aliens. It's when it's talking about the egg stage and the hatching from a host. So you reckon it's probably birth, but it could also logically be disease or even death. Yeah, people who are getting this explained to them, you'll get angry when it could mean birth or death. It depends on whether it's referring to the person or the creature. Kahadira is either prison or tomb. And Dira, you think is maybe army or just like lots of people. And then with your successful area knowledge that you got, Archie, you'd know that like that's kind of how far out the Crusaders have been stretching recently. There's ruins all over the place and little towns that aren't these big notable cities. Again, these are just the places mentioned on the shield. Oh yeah, Buhaira, raised by Crusaders like 8 years ago.
But it's on the shield.
But it's on the shield. it was a walled city. Not really as wealthy as Makid at all. Geographically a little bit isolated from the coast there. Or at least it used to be. It's a little bit better now since they've like kind of just finished making it so you can dock there if you wanted to.
But presumably it doesn't have like a deep water port, which is why we had to go to Makid.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. In fact, yeah, your draft would be too large for it. But you know, you could always go by rowing boat. The horses probably not though.
I'm sure Etho would love that.
I don't think the horses can climb down the rigging to a rowing boat.
I think ships in this era actually had cranes.
You know what? They probably did, yeah.
It would be too hard to slap a tackle on one of the masts and.
Ah,
I think it's even on your map. It's the wheel in the very center of the ship.
so they wrap people in cloth and the cranes take them to shore.
Just to drop a horse onto a rowing boat. But yeah, you're a long ways out from there. You're getting your hopes up there, Etho. Because you've got a lot of mornings waking up on this boat to look forward to.
Oh, she's miserable the entire damn time. Just sucking on the ginger she bought, just cutting a piece off, shoving it in her mouth.
Mm-hmm. Archie, so you did get the church guys pointed out to you by the voice in your head. Since you're so fucking stupid that a voice in your head has to tell you about it.
Yeah, apparently. Okay.
That's what the voice in the head says.
Yeah, I guess keep an eye on them? What are they up to?
Generally keeping the weapons sharp, getting ready for the journey. You don't think that they're here for you, personally. You think they're here either to crusade. They've got heavy crusader vibes for sure.
Okay.
But you don't
And who are
recognize
they
them.
here with?
You're not sure. You'd have to speak to Katya about it. You don't recognize them or anyone on her staff, but you do. It's quickly obviously that they are highly religious. They pray every morning and night, eat very meager rations of the ship's tack, do not drink much.
You know what? I think Archie's gonna try to get the like high ground, quote quote, in the Obi-Wan sense, and make an approach to both of them.
Okay.
And Archie's just like, so are we gonna have a problem here? We're gonna be on this boat together a while.
It's surprising. They're both gonna look at each other and look back at you. You're a heretic. Do you repent?
Not at all. I have nothing to repent for.
They both just look very angry. Oh, I can check in social engineering.
We have things for this.
Yeah, pretty much what I was thinking. They share glances at each other. And then one of them looks back at you and like kind of grinds his teeth and he says, "No problem. No problem at all, in fact. So long as you don't interfere with our ways, we'll be just fine."
Archie will lean down and say, "Be sure of that," and then straighten up and walk off.
They immediately start muttering to each other.
And then Archie goes and finds Lady Katya and advises her upon developments.
And Lady Katya lets you know that those are actually. She's pretty sure that they're with Halia of Utamir.
And who was Holly of Utamir?
She was at the council
So
representing. God.
sorry, yeah, she represents Queen Julia of Utamir, which is the kingdom founded in Keem by
Another
Crusaders.
Crusader kingdom.
Another Crusader.
Okay.
So not.
Archie
Okay.
might well be familiar with all that.
But yeah,
Archie definitely would.
you probably fought alongside people of that army at some point, maybe even against. But either way, very pious, very connected with the church, which kind of spans across nations.
But they needed a ride back to their homeland.
Well, just so you know, things might be troublesome for me when we get off the ship.
I could murder them.
I don't feel the need to go there yet.
Yeah, that seems like overkill. But are you wanted there or something?
Oh, I'm not wanted there, but the many orders of Arete are not fond of me. I fairly publicly renounced the church. After what can be viewed as having killed a god.
Is that well known? That
Within the church,
even in the East?
I guess we'll find out. It's been a year. Surely word will have traveled, and many in the East will recognize me.
Well, if that's the case, then those two don't really matter. I'm sure they'll behave themselves for the trip. But if you're not well known, maybe we should have a word with them so that they don't spread it around.
Well, we'll at least not have trouble for the journey there.
She nods. So no killing of them.
I
Looks to
mean,
though.
let's not push it from the table, but it's not my preferred option. Yes, I know, I would rather not kill them.
I mean, nobody was arguing with you. I think you're okay.
He mouths wood madness at Katya as she turns away and walks away.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they're just other passengers on the ship. If they annoy me, I'll ignore them.
Well, my concern is more than annoyance, but I think I've bought peace for the time.
Well, if you think they're going to try something, let us know. I think literally everyone else on the ship has your back.
I appreciate that, but they would not be the first that I've had to dispatch. Yes, I know, in the woods. Yes, thank you.
Sorry, you weren't supposed to hear that actually, but now that you bring it up, um, what do you think? Like, does that mean anything to you? Katya glances in the direction that Etho went, as if that means something to you.
What? What means something to me?
The wood madness thing.
Ito keeps saying that it's not wood madness. I think you and I might need to talk below decks.
Maybe it is Woods Madness.
Katya nods and gestures to take a walk.
Yeah.
Your puny brain couldn't handle what you saw up on that mountain. So it invented me to deal with your problems. That's
Huh?
Rather than below deck, though, she takes us to one end of the ship or the other, just because there's actually privacy there.
Okay. Fair
classic
enough.
Woods Madness.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Archie will look at Katya and just say, I've not been the same since the mountaintop.
I mean, obviously you've lost your faith, but is it something else?
Well,
Go ahead, tell her. She'll think you're crazy. It will be hilarious. One of your last allies losing faith in you. Perfect.
you wouldn't lose faith in me.
Eva already has. She assumes you've got Woods Madness.
What?
Something's been speaking to me,
You know
and
full
it's
well
not
who I am.
Arate.
What do you mean?
Since the mountaintop, something's been speaking to me. Directly to me. And it's no saint.
Like how? How?
Quite literally. I hear him.
Now? She looks around.
Now. He won't shut up.
Actually, he's not saying anything right now.
Okay, well, actually, right now, he is not saying anything.
But he was up until about, 10 seconds ago.
But it's just whispers.
Does anybody else hear?
No.
Is it always the same thing?
It is always the same voice. Sometimes he tries to do impressions, but you can tell it's the same voice.
It's it's the same person. But it's a being. Someone, something has been speaking to me since the top of the mountain.
Like when my gem spoke to us?
I don't recall that out of character.
When we were interfacing with the Seeress, she spoke to us through people's gemstones.
Hmm.
They were like the interface for the computer.
Right. No, Archie's like, no, it's here, and he like starts tapping the side of his head.
That doesn't sound good, Archie.
No, it is not, which is why I have to ask you to do something. And you might be the only person that I can trust with this. But Katya, if I go overboard, you have to kill me.
Rather than let the sharks get him.
Like, if if this voice if this voice gets to me, like you're the only one that I can trust.
Vague.
You're not gonna go overboard. I mean, it's just a voice. You don't have to do what it says, right? Right?
No. But he's always there. Look, just promise me.
I promise. If the voices get to a point where they get you in trouble, that'll be there for you. And if it really comes to that, yeah, I promise.
Thank you.
That she makes an acting check.
She's lying. You're stuck with me. Nice try.
But it's not going to come to that anyways. What if you tried for treatment? Or I guess who else knows also?
I mean, let's be realistic. Everybody knows something's different. I've seen the looks.
You have been acting pretty different.
As an aside, Micah doesn't think he's acting different.
Just met him. He's always been like this.
Okay. I guess everybody is Katya and Etho.
And probably random villagers that knew him from before and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of Berts that have met you before.
Yeah, that's fair. But no, I've not told anyone.
Well, a couple of years ago, I would have suggested talking to a priest, but maybe a good bartender?
I've tried.
Well, I can see why you've started to drink. That makes sense.
Yeah, quiets him down for a while.
So you really,
Still not a fan.
you really don't remember? Or you just don't recognize me?
Should I?
I mean, a bit, but like, maybe not quite so much.
I'm a god, Archie. According to you. And you killed me. Allegedly.
I think right then, as you two are talking, Archie's eyes go super wide in like realization. What was his name again?
Dio.
Dio. I think Archie just like, yeah, his eyes get wide with recognition and he whispers, Dio?
And you know that because that's the name that's been whispered, shouted into your ears while you sleep every night. Say my fucking name.
That's not a name you should be saying, Archie.
I think Archie like just points at his temple, puts his finger on his temple and starts like tapping it. He's like, Dio.
You can see it gradually dawn on Katya as she grows horrified. No.
Woods madness is the most logical explanation.
Let's just hope it is woods madness.
I mean, I'm sorry, Archie. That sucks.
What do you say to someone who confesses to a voice in the head of the person that they killed? A god that they killed.
Does it know things it shouldn't?
Archie just shrugs. Who's to say what it should know?
Yeah, let's definitely try to keep that from the Crusaders. I think you're right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel pretty right about that too. Look, just keep an eye on me.
Okay.
Thank you. So where are we going? Like, what's our midway station?
I've not even named it yet. That's how failure to prep the middle part I did.
Uh, it's an island called Midway.
Lol. Good placeholder. I am about reaching my end point. Micah, would you like any scenes on the boat? Doing your clothing? Lots of sewing, I imagine.
Not that, but maybe with Arun.
Aye, sure. He wanders around.
No. What sort of stuff do they have in the markets in Kiam?
Everything. Furs from every beast. Magical ingredients to power spells, cure ailments and cause ailments. Every manner of spice, every manner of meat and vegetable and fruits that you have never seen. Weapons that can chop a man in half through plate armor.
At that, she will draw her Jian.
You'll look at it, oh, yes. Of course, I didn't get a good look at it before. But it's not a weapon like you're used to seeing out here.
Yes, it was commissioned by the Lord of Kust based off of my father's drawings. And then he gave it to me after his curiosity was satisfied.
You'll see many things like it. I'm sure.
Wonderful.
It's reminiscent of things I have seen before. You'll likely meet with other people from UA. Is that how I should pronounce it? UA?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Maybe it's one syllable.
Yay. You.
Okay, maybe you should say 2 syllables.
UA. Yua. Way.
There you go, the last one.
Way.
Yeah.
Certainly. They come to trade often. There's always a ship from Way.
Wonderful.
Do you know the language, in fact?
My father taught me.
Excellent. If we have time, I may I may put you to use as a translator, in fact.
Let's see how things turn out.
He's pretty pleased with that. He will also want to talk to you more about the shield and looking at that when Adalga's not bashing at it. We've not mentioned Adalga, but he is aboard. Smith's got to come. Got to keep playing with the metal.
He'll figure out a way to work it at some point.
He's not even managed to scratch it yet. Which is, impressive to say the least. And to say that, the thing's not tarnished in the slightest. And it was in a giant's pocket for so long.
Another thing, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
When we were in the Frostvale, you had an interesting spice. It was quite powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I wouldn't be able to take a pinch of it.
I could do you better than that. And he'll get you like a vial of the stuff, an ounce.
You're rich.
27
Thank
grams. 27.4 grams? 28 grams? I should know that.
28.3.
Aye, aye. I feel like the only person that's really going to notice it, other than the voice in Archie's head, which will point it out constantly, is that they're watching you like a hawk. They're waiting for a moment to strike.
I think Archie's at least on his toes, trying not to give him one.
And yeah, were you talent Pian? We in like 2 days after Archie revealing himself to those two, you pick up on it. They are most certainly planning on killing this guy.
I will wait until I have more specific information as to when and how, and then instead of warning Archie, I will put myself in a position to be able to help him when it happens.
Okay.
Only because I don't really know these people, and it's a manipulation technique to foster good feelings.
Okay. Well, I feel like
I also might kill them in their sleep, so that's a thing.
I best move fast before that happens. Although I have.
Everyone
They're men
listens
of
when
the-
I say no killing.
They're men of the church. They are the leading people that murdered my people. So
Yeah, by day 4, you would have definitely seen him praying to Western Arate. White Jesus.
I'm surprised they haven't harassed me yet. Shockingly.
They probably have actually. I mean, Mr. Magic Ears. Once you spot what they're up to, you pick up on the conversations together a lot as well. And on, let's say oof, we should skip some time a little bit right now.
Yeah, skip it like a week or two.
So yeah, 2 weeks later. Let's just go 2 weeks later. It's been 14 days.
If we're doing that level of time skip right now, then I should make a roll.
Oh, cool. Yes, do it. +2 from the tailor's knowledge. Success by 7 at least.
It's only success by like 12 that gets you anything extra.
Oh yeah, you're not going to reach that because there are probably penalties as well from working on a boat. But yeah, you've managed it at least. You've got it. You've got it.
Hooray!
You make armor. No one else got anything in particular in the 2 weeks? No.
I mean, if there's an opportunity to push one of these dudes off the boat without anyone seeing, then definitely, but nope.
That does not come up. Too many people knocking about, and horses count as witnesses for some reason in this game. What's your name? Pijan. Pijan?
Peon.
Over here's murder plot. So, tonight, on Friday the 11th of November, we do it. The place he has been sleeping, I can sneak past. I slit his throat and dump him overboard through his hatch. Easy. Job done.
What does the other one plan on doing?
Keeping watch. Making sure. Helping out. Causing a bit of a distraction maybe if need be. But there's a certain time when there's a shift change and most of the pretty much all of the crew except for 2 are above deck, and the 2 that are below are really heavy sleepers. And so it'll just be you guys and Archie in your various places. And Archie kind of moves about where he sleeps, I think, and doesn't sleep long when he does. Just grazes on sleep.
Okay. Change in plan then. Peon will just write, they will strike tonight at whatever time they said. And on a, piece of scratch paper and slide it under Archie's door. And then he'll take care of the lookout when
When the time comes.
Yeah.
I think that's a great final scene before the credits is Archie looking over at the door to his very tiny cabin and seeing the note slip underneath it. Because yeah, I'm sure Catchy would have let you have a cabin if you'd not already asked for one, especially after those guys got mentioned.
I also feel like every night Archie is pretty much just like super light sleep, like Warzone sleeper, because he's expecting these guys to attack him.
You've got the soldier skill, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Cool.
Like I think it's almost like a Kenshin thing where he's just like sleeping propped up in a corner with a sword.
Lying across
Just
his thighs.
like, yeah.
You're
like,
sleeping when the note came through, and the almost silent sliding of it woke you up.
Yeah, like.
Glance up from under your hood. Cool.
Especially like right now, considering that there's a bunch of people who do the labor, so Archie's got a whole lot of nothing to do except like actually sleep in public places.
Oh, so you're just dozing during the day and then just nodding while sleeping at night?
That's a good idea too, yeah.
Yeah, actually I think that's exactly what he's doing. Like a light nap in the evening, but yeah, no, he's just waiting for these guys to come kill him.
Well, according to a note, it's gonna happen tonight. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright. Will you be playing Spelljammer on Monday, or is it back to
the other one?
Back to the other one.
Adventuring company.
Atypical adventuring.
Atypical Adventuring? And then on Friday next week we'll be back with more of this. We'll see. We'll see how good you can bungle this. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably pretty good.
No, sounds like fun.
Probably pretty good. We had Emily, Kyle, Tara, Lee, and Colin. I am Luke. Thanks for watching, everyone. Everyone play GURPS. It's amazing. We love it.
We tolerate it.
Tolerate it. Get out of here. Get
I
out
play
of
GURPS
here.
so I can play with you, Luke.
That's nice. Yeah, everybody see you. Bye byes. Don't listen to
Bye.
GURPS. Play GURPS.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.